at Chicago's Mercy Hospital, or just outside the hospital. Chicago police say at least one police officer has been shot and is in critical condition right now. Additionally, at least one offender, shooter, has been shot. There are reports of multiple victims in the incident. We're going to continue to follow the breaking news, update you on the latest situation in Chicago. But there's other breaking news we're following here in Washington. The White House now dropping a threat to revoke Jim Acosta's press credentials again, fully restoring his press pass after a CNN warning of further court action. Let's see that Jim Acosta is over at the White House with more to what the president is saying and not necessarily doing as far as the special counsel Robert Mueller is concerned. We're going to get to Jim Acosta in just a moment, but first, let's go to our chief media correspondent, Brian Stelter. Brian, first of all, what's the very latest on the White House backing down?
Yeah, while Jim's over there doing his job, I'm covering Jim today. Wolf, strange situation, but all of this has been strange for the past 2 weeks. After all, the White House had never tried to kick a reporter out the way they tried to kick out Jim almost 2 weeks ago. So, as you know, last Friday, the judge ruled in CNN's favor. The press pass was returned to Acosta for a 2-week temporary period of time. Over the weekend, the White House moved once again, making a new threat against Acosta's press pass. So CNN fired back in court this morning, and lo and behold, 3 p.m. today, the White House seemed to back down. The new statement from Bill Shine and Sarah Sanders is that the press pass will be restored. There's no more threat of revoking it in the future. Here's CNN's statement about this, essentially saying the legal battle is over. Quote, today the White House fully restored Jim Acosta's press pass. As a result, our lawsuit is no longer necessary. We look forward to continuing to cover the White House. That's the message from CNN today. This legal battle over for now, at least, but there is still this cloud hanging in the air about whether Trump might try to do this in the future to somebody else.
Why did the White House back down in the face of these latest legal developments?
Yeah, I think one of the theories is that lawyers all along thought CNN had a very strong case, and the Department of Justice may have advised the White House that further defeats were likely. After all, the judge last Friday said he thought CNN was likely to prevail if this became a full, lengthy court case. So the DOJ may have given that advice to the White House, but we know how the Trump administration is. They don't like to ever admit defeat. So in this letter today to Jim Acosta, Sanders and Shine outline what they call new rules. One of the rules being that you can only ask one question at a presidential press conference, and you can only ask a follow-up at the president's discretion. So what they're doing is they're putting down in writing the idea of these rules that they could then potentially use to punish reporters in the future. Here's the thing, though, Wolf. The president rarely has press conferences, and White House reporters haven't agreed to these new rules. So it remains to be seen if this is just a fig leaf in order to give the White House an excuse to drop this case and give the press pass back, or if in the future there's going to be a chilling effect. And frankly, that's the concern going forward. There's going to be a chilling effect in the White House press corps. If you try to ask too many questions in a row, the White House might try to revoke your press pass. That all remains to be seen. But I think we can all agree that Americans deserve more questions, more answers, not fewer from the administration. So that's where things stand as of tonight.
And reporters are going to ask questions, and if they don't get answers, they're going to ask follow-ups. That's the nature of the job. You got to do both. Ask the question. If you don't get an answer, you ask the follow-up, or two if necessary. All right, Brian, thank you very much. All this comes as the special counsel's probe closes in and the president lashes out. I want to go live to our chief White House correspondent, Jim Acosta. He's working over at the White House right now. Jim, the president is attacking seemingly in all sorts of directions.
That's right. Well, President Trump is setting the stage for some bruising fights this week, sending the message that he won't be sitting down with the special counsel Robert Mueller in the Russia investigation. And he's starting a war of words over, of all things, something most Americans have cheered: the killing of Osama bin Laden. Welcoming the national Christmas tree to the White House, the president is warning special counsel Robert Mueller there is one gift he shouldn't count on: a sit-down interview with Mr. Trump in the Russia investigation.
I think we've wasted enough time on this witch hunt, and the answer is probably we're finished.
And the president is far from finished from fights he's picking on a number of fronts. He's still battling with retired Admiral William McRaven, who oversaw the mission to kill Osama bin Laden.
A Hillary Clinton backer and an Obama backer, and frankly,
he was a Navy SEAL.
Wouldn't it have been nice if we got Osama bin Laden a lot sooner than that? Wouldn't it have been nice?
McRaven, who's been sharply critical of the president's rhetoric, fired back with a statement of his own, saying, quote, "I stand by my comment that the president's attack on the media is the greatest threat to our democracy in my lifetime." The president's criticism of the bin Laden raid runs counter to statements he made at the time of the mission when he told Politico, "I want to personally congratulate President Obama and the men and women of the armed forces for a job well done."
The witch hunt.
The president isn't holding back when it comes to his own team, openly criticizing Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen.
I want her to get much tougher, and we'll see what happens there, but I want to be extremely tough.
And White House Chief of Staff John Kelly.
And look, we get along well. There are certain things I love what he does, and there are certain things that I don't like that he does.
Good afternoon. The president reserved his nastiest attack for House Democrat Adam Schiff, whose name he intentionally misspelled. Contrast that with the president's softer touch with Saudi Arabia. In response to reports that the administration has the audio of the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, a murder the CIA says was ordered by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Mr. Trump says he doesn't want to hear the tape.
It's a suffering tape. It's a terrible tape. I've been fully briefed on it. There's no reason for me to hear it. So we're going to spend the money that it's necessary.
Perhaps the strangest battle Mr. Trump has chosen to wage has been over the cause of the wildfires in California.
The European Union.
Mr. Trump said the president of Finland told him his country rakes its forests.
I was with the president of Finland, and he said we have a much different. We're a forest nation. He called it a forest nation. And they spend a lot of time on raking and cleaning and doing things, and they don't have any problem.
But the Finnish president told a news outlet in Finland he could not recall any conversation with Mr. Trump about raking forests. The president won't give up the raking idea.
That should have been all raked out.
What about the argument?
You wouldn't have the fire.
The president is holding out the idea with that he could still sit down with Robert Mueller, but it appears for now the president's legal team will instead release written answers to the special counsel and its questions in the Russia investigation. The question, of course, after that is whether Mueller's team will keep pushing for an in-person sit-down interview with the president. Wolf, it is possible that Mueller's team won't be satisfied with the answers coming from President Trump, coming from the White House, and they'll want more. Wolf?
Our White House correspondent Jim Acosta, thank you very much, reporting from the North Lawn of the White House. And joining us now, Democrat